Let's first of all think about how we can represent data. So you can see the next question there. So question 97. I want you to think about each of these different data sets, and I want you to put them into sensible groups. Now, has everybody seen a stem and leaf diagram before? Yep. Yeah? So in other words, you group things together. So let's just look at the first one. I'm going to group these numbers together according to 10s, 20s, etc., etc. 10s, 20s, 30s. So the way which I'm going to do that is by representing it as a stem and then the leaves coming off of it. So you can see I've got numbers in the zeros, the numbers in the 10s, and the numbers in the 20s, and the numbers in the 30s. So here, I'm going to write the group. So 0 group, the ones in the zeros, the 10s group, the 20s groups, and the 30s group. Okay? Then the right-hand side, I'm then going to order each of the numbers in each of those groups. So you can see I've got the number 9, which would fit here, like 0, 9, 9. Okay? Then the next one, I've got 14, 15, 14, and 19. Okay? So I'm going to go 14, 14, 15, and 19. Does that make sense? I'm literally just going through and I'm putting each of these numbers according to whether they're in the zeros, the 10s, the 20s, and the 30s, and I'm ordering all of those subsets. Yes, I'm putting them in order. Okay? So in the next one, if I look at the 20s, I'm going to have 23, 26, 26, and 29. Okay? So what was that? 23, 26, 26, and 29. And then finally, the last one, I'm going to have 35. So I'm just going to write 5. Okay? Now, if you were viewing this for the first time, you'd have to tell somebody what it actually meant. So you'd need to put a key. In other words, the way to read this is if I pull out two numbers at random, so if I pull out a stem, let's say the 1, and if I pull out a leaf, let's say a 5, I'd have to say what number that corresponds to. What would that number correspond to in this case? 15. Does that make sense? Yeah? So can I give you 2 minutes to have a look at the other two data sets and just group them sensibly and then create stem and leaf diagrams off of them?
Wait, what do we do with this one?
It's up to you. It's up to you. Remember, I'm just putting them into groups. So I'm putting them into groups of zeros, 10s, 20s, 30s. You could, if you wanted to, do like 0 point, then the next group would be 1 point something, next group 2 point something, 3 point something, etc. Okay, so shall we just quickly go through the last one? Okay, so first of all, and again, this is completely subjective. In other words, it doesn't matter how you do it, how you group them, it's entirely up to you, all right? So I've got these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 numbers here, okay? And I'm going to group these together in sensible ways. Now, I would group them according to whether they're 0 point something, 1 point something, 2 point something, etc. Okay? Let's have a look. Right, I've got 0 point somethings definitely, so I'm going to put a 0 here. I'm just going to go through and find all my 0 point somethings. So look, I've got a 0.1 and a 0.5. Let's order those. So I'm going to put 1 there and 5 there. Okay? Then I'm going to go for my 1 point something. So I'm going to put 1 there. Well, let's have a look. There's only 1 point something, 1 point something. That's 1.9. Okay, so I'm going to put a 9 there. Okay? And I'd advise you to cross them off as you go through, because then that kind of makes sure that you capture all of them. Okay? Then I'm going to go for the 2 point somethings. So the 2 point something, what have I got? Well, I've got 2.4 and 2.8, and that's in order. So I'm going to go 4 and then an 8 there. Okay? I've got some 3 point something, so I'm going to put 3 there. Let's have a look. I've got a 3.6 and another 3.6 and another 3.3. Is that 3.3 or 5.3?
5.3.
That's 5.3. Okay. Couldn't read my writing. Okay, so 3.6 and 3.6. I'm going to put 6 there and a 6 point there. I haven't got any 4 point somethings. Now, you don't have to include it, but I am, because I'm only going to skip that one. Then I can sort of see a better distribution of what's happening in the data. Okay, so I'm going to put 4 there, even though there's not a 4 point something in there. Okay. Then I just got 5 point something and a 6 point something. So what about 5 point something? Okay, just got 5.3 and then a 6.2 to go. Put 3 there and a 2. Have I finished? I need to put a key. Perfect. So my key, I just simply select a number at random. Okay, as long as I've got a stem and a leaf. Let's go 3 and 6.
What is the key for?
That's because at the moment I don't know whether that's 36 or 3.6 or 306. I don't know. Does that make sense? So I need the key to be able to decipher what number it corresponds to. Yeah? So likewise on that side I had the key to know that 1 and 5 represented 15. On this side the 3 and the 6 represents 3.6. Exactly. So you need a way of deciphering it, basically. Okay? Now if you did this in a different way, that is totally fine. That is totally fine. Okay?
If someone reads it 4.0.
Because there's not a 0 there, you can't read it as 4.0. Yeah? So if there was a 4.0, I'd have to put a 0 there. But I can see that there's nothing in the 4 point somethings. So the reason why I do this, I can sort of start to see the distribution of the data, the shape of the data. So I can sort of start to see there's a bit of a peak there, and it kind of comes down, and there's a little bit of a flatter thing there. So I can sort of see the distribution of the data. In other words, where's the majority of my data held? It's kind of somewhere in here. Is that okay? Good, fantastic. Let's take a break.